Hey everybody, Logan here, today with something I haven't done in a while, and I don't know why I haven't, but I decided because I picked up a few recent games for the collection, might as well do, I'm going to call it my growing Dreamcast collection. So, back in the day, I originally had a Dreamcast. I got it, I know it came out in 99, I got it in the year 2000. I saved up. I was still in high school at the time. I think at the time I was sophomore, 10th grade. So I saved up, got myself a Dreamcast with a couple games. I was in love with it. I was still running a Dreamcast when my friends got the PS2 and everything like that. I was like, you know what? I love my Dreamcast. Look what it can do. Da-da-da-da. Yeah, I eventually got myself a PS2. September 8th, 2001 is when I got my PS2. I'll go into that story. There's a big thing about that date. Well, I'll never forget it. But I got my Dreamcast. Of all things, I'll go into a little history. It's not the most interesting, but we had a church rummage sales, what we called it, and I sold, of all things, my original NES. I got a good bit of money for it. Didn't think, it was going to be what it turned out to be, but I sold a lot of really expensive games, including DuckTales and some other ones. So those games I ended up buying back over the years. I'm still just missing a couple, but mistake that was. That's neither here nor there. So I ended up selling that, got the money. My grandfather took me to Target the next day, later that day after everything was said and done, or the next day, I don't quite remember. But we went to Target, and I was either going to get the Dreamcast with the Sega Smash Pack, the regular gray one, which is currently the one I have now. It's not the same console, but or the all-black Sega Sports one. I like the all-black one, but I don't like sports games. I didn't want NFL 2K. I wanted that Sega Smash Pack because it had all those great Genesis games and whatnot. So I picked that up, and I picked up Crazy Taxi. So those are my first two games. I ended up buying all kinds of games, between then and the time I got even while I had my PS2, I was still playing my Dreamcast. Phantasy Star Online, Sonic Adventure 2, Spawn in the Demon's Hand. Man, I had so many great games. Street Fighter 3 Double Impact. So many games that I had. I could go on. I remember getting a number of them. Even some weird oddball ones. But, so, eventually I ended up trading it all in because I was like, the Dreamcast is dead. Oh no, let me just... It hurt, and I traded in everything to get more PS2 stuff. I think I did it right before I got my original Xbox, but I think I traded in for PS2 and GameCube stuff, but don't quote me on that. It's been a long time. So, within the last, 4 or 5 years, I want to say 4 years, I decided to get back on the Dreamcast wagon because I missed a lot of these games. Such a good library of games, and it's taken me a little bit, but now I can afford it, so that's why I decided to do it. Sadly, now when the Dreamcast games, just like Sega Saturn and 64, all those games are shooting up in price. So I'm going to show you what I do have as of right now. I have it all spread out before me. You guys can't see it, but I have everything right around here. I have a stack of games. I have some games down here along with the console. I'm going to move this stack right here, right under the camera. Let's see. That's my Dreamcast. I've had it for about a year or so, maybe 2 years. Yes, because this is the second one I bought. I'd originally bought one right around 4 years ago, and it was making all kinds of weird noises. Weird grinding noises that I remember the Dreamcast not doing. Apparently it was reconditioned, whatnot. so the gear in there was a lot louder than it normally was. This one is, the standard volume, but it's not the greatest condition. I did get this, I want to say Cybertron in Orlando or CD Trader down in Davie, one of the two. I think this one might have been the Cybertron one, but it works great. There's one problem: the internal battery died, so I'm gonna have that fixed. Hopefully I can have it fixed. If not, I'm gonna see if I can find another one, maybe one of the other rarities, blue one, whatnot, one of the Japanese ones. I don't know. Once all the world opens back up, we can start doing cons and stuff again. I'm gonna find another variation of the console. I'm gonna put you down over there. So, I just got my 4th controller. Controllers, I have a thing for third-party wacky controllers. So initially, I have the one that came with it. Sorry, I have something in it. I have the initial Dreamcast, orange US standard. Yeah, I got it at Cybertron. Okay, this is the one that came with it. So yeah, I got it at Cybertron Games in Orlando. I didn't take off the sticker. Normally I do. But there you go. As you guys can see, standard Sega Dreamcast. So, I also bought this at Gamers Inc. in Orlando. The European Dreamcast controller. So, that's the box. Theirs were much different than ours in terms of, well, the box, but the controller. Pull that out of there. Same as ours, but blue. There's a blue. So, if you guys are watching this in the UK, then you know that. To us, we're the weird ones. To you, us, we're whatever. Blue for the UK, orange for the US. So, there you go. This one I had to get. I think this one was $20, $25, which wasn't expensive at all at the time. Now I think these things go for about $40 or $50, maybe more. You guys let me know if you know. But yeah, so that's one of my favorite pieces in my collection, along with one other I'll show you in a moment. Just because it's not rare, but it's rare for the US. So put you down there. Yeah, I'm just putting all the stuff on the side so we don't. Okay, so I do have the performance jump pack or tremor pack. I think they called it tremor pack, just like they did for the Nintendo 64. And then you have the Sega standard Dreamcast jump pack. Now this one actually has much more intense rumble than this one. Same thing with the N64 one, if I'm not mistaken. They were just more intense. I like this one better, but you gotta have the standard one, so I picked both of them up. Pretty inexpensive. Next are let's do the other two controllers. So like I said, I have a thing for wacky third-party controllers. This one I just got in the mail. I made an order from Starland for some Dreamcast stuff, and you'll see the 2 games that I bought in just a moment. But I didn't pick this one. They just have a thing where it says third-party Dreamcast controller, $5, random. I was like, sure, let's roll the dice. And that's what they gave me, the Nyko. I'm really not sure what the Z and C buttons are for because the Dreamcast didn't use them. So I haven't tried it yet, but the controller's in very good condition for, being pre-owned. It's very clean, odd looking, but I remember these. I was actually hoping to get I think the performance or interact. I forgot. Something fell. Don't worry about it. I didn't die. It just kind of. But I was hoping to get there's this big beefy one that looks like a spaceship with these. I was hoping to get that one. I'm still looking to find one of those. I want to say it's performance. I don't remember. But the Nyko one, that's pretty nifty to get, and it's purple. So that's pretty cool. Now, my final controller, I did a video on that recently, and you guys might be a bit more familiar with that. And my hair's all over everything. Now that I've got long hair, I'm shedding like a dog. And that's the Brawler. The DC Fighter? DC Retro... Wow, I forgot what this sucker's called. But this thing's great. I know the other one's Striker DC. It says it on the back. It's a Striker. Because, yeah, the N64 is Brawler 64 and the Brawler Gen for the Genesis, which I have them both. But this one's really cool. Stick does feel a bit looser. The D-pad is fantastic on here. But you guys can watch the whole unboxing and everything I did. Fantastic controller. This is my newest piece in terms of, I guess, age. So, yeah, that's pretty cool. You're not Dreamcast. What are you doing here? PlayStation controller on the table. So, we're going to go with new VMUs. Yeah, this one actually says where I got it. Hudson Video Games. That's also in Orlando, in the Florida Mall. There's a lot of retro stores up there. If you guys are ever in the Orlando area, that's a great place to take a look. I just recently replaced the batteries in them because they were old. They were dead. What can I say? So I got a green and I got a blue. This one from Hudson. This one from... I don't remember. Gamers Inc. Maybe? Yeah, but I got a green and blue just because what the heck? Why not? I needed as many as I can get and I like the different colors. So these you can still find brand new, pretty cheap. As you can see, this one was $12.99. I don't know why it says Hyperkin on it, but it does. But $12.99 for these almost anywhere. Now this one I paid a little bit more for. I think it was 14 or 15, maybe 19. I don't know. This one was pre-owned, but it's the rare yellow. It's yellow. It's got jaundice. No, I'm just kidding. So the yellow ones, along with the yellow controllers, are extremely rare. They were apparently one of the lower run production colors for the Dreamcast, from what I've read. So I don't know how true it is. If you guys know the actual statistics or facts on the yellow accessories and controllers, drop it in the comments below. And while you're there, hit that subscribe button. If you're still watching right now, why aren't you? So this is one of my favorite pieces. Oh, actually, the price on the back, I did get it for $12.99 as well. But this one's pre-owned. This one wasn't brand new because it was used. It even says, someone had written on the back, it says 51502 changed battery. So it's not really inked, but you can see it's, you can't really see it, but you can see where the ink had faded or whatnot, but they changed the battery then. And of course, I had to change it again, so I did. Next, we're going to start getting to some of my games. Now, I do have, everybody knows one of these things. I made the case for this. This is to a boot disc for Japanese games. Now, in order to play Japanese games, you did have to have a boot disc. Unfortunately, this is my original boot disc. I got from a friend of mine way back in high school. So he burned it for me. I was able to play some Japanese games. Needless to say, this sucker doesn't work anymore. So I had to buy something on Amazon, and I'm sure you guys have seen these. The Dreamcast cheats and codes. These things actually work as a boot disc. Yeah, these things aren't cheap. They're really hard to find. I think this cost me about 20 or 30 bucks. Brand new, brand spanking new. I bought it a few months ago. But yeah, this is still 20 years old now. So if you can find one of these, this will boot your Japanese games. And I do have a number of Japanese games. I'll go over those. But yeah, that's definitely what these things are for. They work great. That's how I play. I don't use the cheats on them. I just want to play my Japanese games. Now I have a few games here. I don't have the original cases, so what I did is I made one. Techromancer, such a fantastic game. Now this is my original copy. Not in the greatest of condition, but this is my original copy. One of the few that I did keep, because this is a stupid hard game to find. If I can find a case and a booklet, I would be, you know, happy as a pig in poo. So fantastic fighting game. Reminds me a lot of Power Rangers, and I love mechs and stuff like that. So if you haven't played this, go ahead. I would like to. I was thinking about recording footage for all this, but there's a lot of games and stuff here to record footage for. But I think I might do some gameplay for some of these down the line. But yeah, fantastic game if you haven't already picked it up. Oh, I think I can show you. There was prints on the back, and yes, these are Wii cases, so I use those. But yeah, as you can see. Next, I have Soul Calibur and Ready to Rumble. This one did have a case, but it was cracked and fell apart. They gave it to me for free when I bought the Dreamcast. That I do remember. So I had to make a new one, but this is got the booklet and everything on the inside. This one does not, but I eventually, this was, again, one of my old copies, and not in the greatest of condition. I don't know why. I found them within a bunch of other stuff, and I was like, what? How did these get here? Never had a case. Pretty pooey condition, but I still have it. Next are my, let's go, we'll leave the Japanese ones for last. So we'll start from the end. This is one of the ones I bought not too long ago because I had this one for my Dreamcast back in the day too, and that's WWF Royal Rumble. This is based off the arcade game, still using the the Pooh engine. No, oh, how did I brain fart? Oh wow, the same engine that it uses today. Well, did use until 2K20, which was brain fart. Brain fart. No, of course it doesn't say it. It's Ukes. That's right. Ukes still made this one. This was the arcade one. Dreamcast had a lot of arcade games that were brought to the console, but this is straight up the arcade version, just ported right to the Dreamcast. It's really not a deep game, but it was fun. It's got straight up arcade controls. Nutty game. Had this. Got it at East Starland when I was in. I think this was one of the ones I got when I was in Virginia, but great game, even though it's not too deep. Sports game? What? Yeah, sports game. World Series Baseball 2K1. I love this game. I remember getting this on clearance or something like that way back when I was younger. This is one of the ones I had. I think I had 2K and 2K1. This is the one I remember getting at Target or something. I think it was like 10, 20 bucks. Maybe even less. I think it was about 10 bucks when I bought it. And I was playing the crap out of this. One of my favorite baseball games of all time, along with All-Star Baseball, I want to say was 99. And for the Nintendo 64, World Series Baseball for the Game Gear, and Ken Griffey Jr.'s Winning Run. My favorite baseball games. I'm a baseball fan. Not really a big fan of what's all going on now in the sport. People aren't paying attention to the world and this crazy things, and people are doing stuff that aren't really agreeable. But hey, next season maybe we'll get back to normal. But I love my baseball. So we've got, next one would be Virtual On Cyber Troopers. I even have this, the digital version on Xbox 360, but there was an issue with that. If you ever played this one, this is a fantastic game. I guess there was some kind of licensing things where it disappeared from my collection. Really upsetting, but when it came back, when they put it back on Xbox Live, I didn't have the license for it anymore. But I do have the original. There was also one on the PS2 and something else which I can't remember. But I would love to see, this would be a game I would love to see them bring back out for the Switch. I don't know why, but this feels like it should be on the Switch. So this is one of my favorite games. I don't remember if I bought this or if I rented it back in the day from Blockbuster, because when I got my Dreamcast, Blockbuster still had them. But I might have bought this. But I have it now, and that's what matters. Next, look, the real Soul Calibur! The real Soul... Yeah, so everybody had this. I bought this. I remember the first time I played a Dreamcast. It was at a friend's house. who I was high school with, he invited me over to his house, and I was blown away. This was one of the first games we played. I think we played this in Power Stone. And Marvel vs. Capcom 2. Marvel vs. Capcom 2 I never had, but it's on my list. I think between now, unfortunately, with the global thing going on and all the craziness, it's going to be a lot harder for me to pick up Dreamcast games, but I am going to. And I got a good number of N64 stuff. I'm still on the track to finish my N64 collection, but while Dreamcast before, it just goes astronomically through the roof. This is my next mission, to get as much Dreamcast stuff as I can. So, fantastic game. You guys know it. It is available on Xbox Live. If you want the original, you can still play it. They did release it there. As well as the next game I'm going to show. This is on Xbox Live, and you can even get the DX upgrade for the GameCube version on Xbox Live, and that's Sonic Adventure. How can you not have a dream? How can you not? How can you not have this game and have a Dreamcast? Or how can you have a Dreamcast and not have this game? One of the best Sonic games of all time. And it's funny, I might be just remembering it through rose-colored glasses. I was playing it the other day on my Xbox One. It's backwards compatibility through 360 to Xbox One. And I don't remember the controls being so janky, but maybe it's because I went from Nintendo 64 and PS1 to Dreamcast, and I was like, whoa, blown away. Maybe that was it. Maybe. But I still love this game. It has one of the greatest soundtracks ever. Open Your Heart. Open Your Heart. Which brings me to, if, depending on when you're watching this, they just released the vinyls for Sonic Adventure and Sonic Adventure 2 soundtracks on limited run. I got Sonic Adventure 1, not 2, because this soundtrack holds a place in my heart. I loved it. The music was fantastic. 2 was good too, but it just didn't get me like this one. So I should have bought them both, could have bought them both. They're still available, but I just bought one because I don't have the hugest, biggest vinyl collection. My wife's got a ton more than I do. But yeah, I decided to get this. Oh, look, there's a hurricane outside. By the way, yeah, I'm filming this during a hurricane. Next is, can't have the Dreamcast collection without Shenmue. Now, I remember when I bought Shenmue. This I did have as well, and I played the living crap out of this game. It was probably one of my favorite games of all time. It still is. Shenmue 2 I had on Xbox. I wanted to get the European version, but unfortunately I can't seem to find it, and when I do, it's just through the roof. Back in the day when I was working my first tenure at GameStop, we did get it in. Someone traded in. It was actually in our system. We were able to take it, and it was just extremely expensive even back then, and never got my hands on it. But Shenmue 1, I remember when I bought this, I think I bought it for $20 then, and I enjoyed every minute of it. Sadly, I can't say the same thing about Shenmue 3. It's just missing that enjoyability. I've played hours of it, and it's just not as fun as 1 or 2. 1 is just the best, and there's just, it hurts my heart. So, moving on. Yeah, Sega Smash Pack, I told you! This, because I never had a Genesis growing up. I was always a Super Nintendo, Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Nintendo kid. The only Sega thing I had was the Game Gear. So when I got this on my Dreamcast, there was a ton of games on here. I loved Sega Swirl. Sega Swirl was on here. It had the, Columns was good. Streets of Rage 2, Wrestle War, Virtual Cop. But Virtual Cop, you need the gun. I didn't have the gun. Golden Axe, Sonic the Hedgehog, Phantasy Star 2, Vector Man, but my favorite was Shining Force, and I beat Shining Force. Yeah. On the Dreamcast, I played a Genesis game on the Dreamcast and beat it. Love Shining Force. Love Shining Force. And I think I ended up getting Shining Force 2 on something else, and I beat that too. So there you go. There's my US games. Oh no, there's not. there's more. But wait, there's more. Whoa! If you guys saw my play and trade video lately, I just recently picked this one up. This one is a hard sucker to find. It's now valued at around 50 bucks. I got it for 35. I just went, yeah, gotta get it. And I always had this on the original PlayStation. Loved it back then. And, you know, it even looked good then. And I never had it on Dreamcast because, well, I had it on PlayStation. But, man, now that I got this sucker, this is a gem in my collection. Even though the PlayStation version is only about 20 bucks. But this one, because of the rarity of it, $50 game. Awesome, this one. Really happy to have this in my collection. Now, for my two latest, I haven't gotten my Japanese ones yet. So, just give me... So, these just came in from East Starland along with the controller. When I initially purchased this game, I had it way back when. Played the crap out of it. I'm sure you guys can figure out what it is. But I initially purchased it and it was on back order and they gave me a refund and whatnot. And now it went back, but it was a little more expensive. And then I realized just why. You're like, what? But you can't play it online. No, you can't play it online anymore. But you can still play it locally. Now this one, can you see it? Sonic Adventure 2 demo. Not all of them had the Sonic Adventure 2 demo. And it's got the one with the logo before the initial one, as you can see. Boom, Sonic Adventure 2. And it has the game in there. So, this was fantastic. I love this game. And I'm actually glad to have the one with the demo. This is definitely worth it. This was $27. So, Dreamcast games are going up. The original prices, you know, even prices a few months ago are starting to go up. So, and now, the gem in my collection. I know it's not the most expensive game, but it's one of my favorite games of all time, and I'm so glad to have gotten another copy. And I did have this. I bought this because I'm such a big fan of the comic book growing up, and you know, I had all the games, and even when the latest stuff and the new series, whatever it is that's coming out, there's a new Kickstarted figure, and that's Spawn in the Demon's Hand. So psyched to have gotten this game. I'm not sure if this is the original case because it feels a little different compared to some of the others, but it's still awesome. Great condition, complete. You know, it's got everything. Really, really rare game. Is this... You know what? I'm going to take a look. Now I've got myself wondering. Yeah, it's a different case. It's not like the others. It's not like the others. I don't know. But the fact that full, complete, fantastic arena-based, think it's kind of like Power Stone, but you're bigger, you got the camera in a little more, and you got all these great weapons. You can go from room to room, and it was an arena-based shooter, and I love Spawn. I love this game. 75 bucks. 75 bucks. And it's so rare, I'm surprised I even got it. So when I saw it, I was like, and they only had one copy in, I was like, let's bite that bullet. Lately, I haven't been spending a lot of money on games because I'm saving to get my Camaro, and you guys know that I want a new Camaro. So, yeah, I'd bite the bullet. But like I said, the Dreamcast it's something when you can get it, you can get it. Now, one thing that did bother me about the Dreamcast, the two different box arts, the black and then the white. The white with the Dreamcast, that bothered the crap out of me. And then you'd see it, and sometimes they'd have the orange ones. That was so annoying. I remember PS3 was like that as well, where they changed the image on the spine, and the header bothered the crap out of me, and everything's not uniform. And then when Xbox did it, it's well, stop with that. Keep the uniformity. So Nintendo's always been good about that. So we're gonna go and take a look. Oh, this video is getting a little long, isn't it? My Japanese games. So first one I'll go with arrow dancing. What? Well, yeah, apparently it's a flight sim. It's a flight sim using fighter jets. And not fighter jet. Yeah, I think they're all fighter jets. I haven't played it. I bought it. I was like, yeah, I played. I think I got it for like $7. Dreamcast, Japanese Dreamcast games are a bit cheaper. So I bought this one. I was like, that's cool. So that was my first Japanese game. Next one, which this one has shot up in price. I got it for $20. It's now around $30 or $40 from what I've seen. And that's King of Fighters 2000. Now this one I have played. It's just like King of Fighters 2000 on the Dreamcast, or I think it was on PS2 as well. Don't quote me on that because I don't know. But it plays just like it. Besides, it's in Japanese and stuff. I don't even remember it being in Japanese. I think this one was in English. So I played it when I first got it and I was like, ooh, cool, I'm happy. The next one I got because I ordered this one from East Starland at the same time as I ordered the other one when they told me the original, the US version wasn't available. And that's Phantasy Star Online, Japanese. So I got this one and I was happy to get this one. I know it's not pretty much unplayable here. I booted up and everything's Japanese. I don't know what the heck's going on, but it does play on my Dreamcast with the boot disc, and I just have it because I love Phantasy Star Online. I play Phantasy Star Online 2 quite a bit on Xbox. I had to take a small little hiatus from it because that's all I was playing. I wasn't getting anything else done. So with the announcement of New Genesis, can't wait. So there we go. Oh, there's one more. Shaboosh! You're like, what is that game? Oh, it's the Japanese version of Virtualon. I told you I love Virtualon. Sega has a lot of great franchises, and I think these would be fantastic, fan-flibbin-tastic to bring back on the Switch for some reason. For some reason, I feel like that's where they belong. Maybe it's just me. But I picked this one up the other day. Same video as the Play and Trade one. If you take a look, I got this there. This was cheaper as well. This was $30 something dollars. 34, 33, something like that is what I got this one for. And I was like, what the heck? These are still hard to find. They are going up in price, even though the Japanese ones, like my Virtualon, I think is now 40, 50, maybe 60. And I got it for 20. So, yeah. But just like the US ones, Japanese ones even put the little Dreamcast thing in a different place. So, but at least all theirs are uniform. Japanese with orange, English with orange. So, but unfortunately, ours not so much. But thank you guys for watching. That was my Sega Dreamcast collection video. Not the biggest collection, but I've got stories. It means something to me, and I'm glad to get a lot of these games back, and I'm still working on it. Still working on getting more. So thank you guys for watching. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. I'm sure you've already done it halfway through. If you're still watching, you are a subscriber. You're subscribing. No? Yeah, okay. So remember, head on over to redbandanagaming.com. Doing some updates. Changing a little things around over there, giving you some more content. Got a couple articles that are going up there. Unfortunately, my staff is kind of disappearing on me. Everybody is kind of, because of the global nonsense. But hey, when all this is over, we'll be 110% capacity. Yes, capacity. Thank you guys so much. Thank you for watching. Subscribe. Like we always say, be legendary. Oh, no, that didn't hurt. Thanks again.